Hello, football fanatics, and welcome to the Real Talk FC. Brought to you by absolutely no one because it's just me and my friends chatting about the beautiful game. And if you want to get involved, we will put down our Twitter handles and our email address in the description. So please feel free to contact us. And you can come on and we can chat about anything related to this beautiful game. So yeah, give us a shout. Premier League is back. I'm excited. Trev, and you're back too. How are you feeling? How are you doing, bro? Are you excited for the new season? And welcome back.
Thank you. I'm not excited because unfortunately my team missed game week 1. So it doesn't really feel like it started for me. So it was good watching the other team. It was good having the banter back, but I'm looking forward to this week where I can actually see uh, United run out at Old Trafford.
Yeah, well, fortunately for me, my team did play, so that was quite good. I'll just quickly share the results of over the weekend. Arsenal 3-0 comfortable winners over Fulham. So, and I say comfortable because that's a very rare thing with associated with Arsenal lately, especially under Unai Emery. There was nothing comfortable about watching Arsenal play. But since Mikel Arteta has come in, I think he's brought a lot of organization, a lot of structure. So, yeah, it was a really, really good performance by everyone, I thought. I know it's only Fulham, but you can only beat what's in front of you. So there were really good performances by a few individuals, and I'm going to just bring on this one individual in particular that I was impressed by. And we spoke about him in last week's show. This is the young defender, Brazilian Gabriel, that we signed from Lille. And I
Say
think
his
he had
surname.
Magalas
Thank
or
you.
Magalas, I don't know. But anyway, that's how I will say it. Sorry if I butchered his name. But I thought it was a really, after a very nervy, shaky start, I think he grew into the game. And he was commanding and won all his aerial duels, and also got on the score sheet, which is really, really good for a young player coming into the Premier League. And that will give him a lot of confidence. And we touched on this last show that we did. And Trev, you mentioned, that young players coming in, you can already see if they're going to make it or not. They have something about
Yeah.
them. And for me, he definitely showed really good signs. And I'm really looking forward to seeing more of him. So, yeah, very excited about this young prospect. But for me, the man of the match of the game was this guy, Willian. He gave 2 or 3 assists, 3 assists as per fantasy, but 2 assists officially recorded. And we basically did what we expected him to do. Premier League experienced player we bought from Chelsea on a free. I think that's an absolute steal. He was all over the pitch, making runs through the center, hugging the touchline. Absolute beauty of a ball to Aubameyang for the third goal, and also from the set piece from which Gabriel headed home the second goal. So I think it was a really, really assured performance. And I seriously think that we should stop the league right now because we're on top and coronavirus is still going on. So I highly think we should stop the league and we should get the title because I think that's the only way we can win it this season. But anyway, that was one of the games. Going back to the fixtures,
I
and
think
the other.
something really interesting from the fixtures this week, and to go back to what we said in the last video again about the Premier League being the hardest league in the world, the amount of away teams that picked up wins in the first week is absolutely astounding. I think most leagues in the world, your home team has quite a big advantage. Whereas last week, not only did teams go away from home and pick up 3 points, Wolves, Leicester, Arsenal, and Newcastle and Everton all managed to keep clean sheets away from home as well. I think just
Good point. But
underlining
I think that
how
we also
difficult the
need
league is.
highlight the fact that because there are no fans in the stadium, the home advantage is reduced, I think, significantly, especially from the teams coming up from the lower divisions, because they rely heavily on the home fan support. And you see with West Brom and Fulham, both played at home, no home fans, and that's why they were comprehensively beaten. So, but really good point. I just want to touch quickly on. I'm not going to go through all the games, but we have to touch on the Liverpool Leeds game. I watched that game, and it was absolutely fantastic game for neutrals. 7-goal thriller, and I think I was really impressed by Leeds. They play some really good attacking brand of football. Obviously, that leaves them a bit exposed at the back, and well, I'm going to bring on this man who actually was running the show in that game. Mohamed Salah with a hat trick. Not just, I know he scored 2 penalties, and his second goal was fantastic, but throughout the game he looked like he was on form and like ready for the new season. And I think I was most impressed by that player. On the flip side, Liverpool did concede 3 goals. Sorry, so that was a bit worrying. They should be a little bit worrying, and Van Dijk with another mistake, which I've seen after the restart from last season, he has been making. Maybe complacency has set in, and I don't know if they can get out of that. Sometimes it's very difficult after you've won the league to keep that momentum up. And right now, I think defensively, Liverpool are struggling a little bit, but only time will tell if they can get over the line with that. So, yeah, that was a really fun game to watch for neutrals, and I'm sure those of you who did watch. And then very, very happy, and I'm sure Triv will agree with me that Spurs lost. We're not big fans of Jose Mourinho. I
Nah,
think,
that's just a little bit of an understatement.
yeah, yeah. Well, we're trying to be nice so far, but good banter is always welcome on this channel and in football. So yeah, 1-0 win. Winners Everton. I think I watched a bit of the game and they looked really good. The midfield looks outstanding with James Rodriguez, Allen, and Doucouré. I think it's a very well balanced midfield, and also their attackers with Calvin Lewin and Richarlison have a lot of speed and height and pace. So it was quite a good performance. And the other results, Chelsea with a 3-1 win. Havertz and Timo Werner were on show, but I don't think they really impressed much. This is the first game of the season, so they will take some time to gel. Wolves with a comfortable 2-0 win over Sheffield United. So, and Leicester, we'll touch on this later when Tiff talks about the fantasy teams, which we will do at the end. Were comfortable 3-0 winners over West Brom with Jamie Vardy scoring 2 penalties. Crystal Palace sneaked past Southampton. I thought that was a bit of a shock result. I thought Southampton would have done better. And Newcastle winning 2-0 over West Ham. West Ham look like a shambles right now, and I'm quite happy that Arsenal are playing them next, which we will talk about in a few minutes. So those were the fixture results from over the weekend. And Trev, I'm sure you're looking forward and you want to see United play. How do you think you're playing Crystal Palace? I'll quickly also bring on the fixture list. Those are the fixtures. United playing Crystal Palace on Saturday at 5:30 my time in Luxembourg. Trev, what are your predicted lineups? What do you think? How do you think the game will pan out?
Uh, Firstly, yeah, I'm definitely excited to watch United play again. Excited to watch some football again. Good to have the Premier League back. Prediction wise, I think you're 100% right. I didn't expect Palace to come away with the result against Southampton. My fantasy team also dictates that because I was quite Southampton heavy. So yeah, Palace surprised me. Like I said, this league is the toughest league in the world. So for United hosting Palace this coming game week, I'm going to go for a United win. I look at Palace's defense, and I think that between Rashford, Marshall, and Greenwood, I think they've got enough. We've got enough firepower to get past Palace. I'm going to say 2-0 on or the next game week. In my predicted starting lineup, you can see I've left out Pogba. I know he's back training, but I do think that he is still recovering from COVID-19. Van der Beek played in the friendly game against Aston Villa, and I think he's just generally more match fit than Pogba is right now. So I've got Van der Beek starting for Fernandes. It should be interesting watching Donny run out. Apparently, he had a decent game against Aston Villa in that friendly match. And then the back four, I think Ole knows his strongest back four now. So I've gone Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, and Luke Shaw. On that note, Reguilon this week moved to Tottenham Hotspur, and I know that a lot of United fans are disappointed in the transfer, and I'm also disappointed in terms of our lack of activity in the transfer market. I do, however, think that we've dodged a bullet. I don't think negotiating with Madrid and putting in two types of clauses, a buyback clause and a second clause that I can't remember, is very healthy for building a squad going forward, because at any time Madrid can say, we want our player back, and then you build a team around someone and you lose them because of a buyback clause like that. So, yeah, we've lost out on him, but as much as I don't like the Glazers, I do think the right decision was made. And, yeah, David De Gea between the sticks. I think David De Gea is the Manchester United number one. I think it is Henderson's job to take that away from De Gea. I don't think that's going to be given to Henderson as good a season that he had last season, and as poor a season. I think that's fair to say, considering De Gea's standards that he had last season. I think that David De Gea will still be the starter, and yeah, I'm going to go 2-0, and I think Mason Greenwood is going to be one of the most effective players for United against Palace, purely because Mitchell is a 21-year-old playing at left back for Palace. And I know he started, I think, 2 games at the back end of last season, but he's still a little bit inexperienced. He's still a little bit young. I'm sure he's got a lot of potential, but it might be a little bit tough him coming up against a youngster who's full of confidence. Also, I think, thank you, British media, for trying to destroy another one of your young talents. But I think Greenwood's going to have a little bit of fire in his belly after the recent exploits and happenings around him. So, yeah, I'm going 2-0 to Manchester United.
Okay, that was a really good and comprehensive analysis of the team I do not like, but hey, we're talking about all the Premier League teams. I am going to go for a 3-0 to Crystal Palace. No, I'm just joking. 3-0 United. That's my prediction. And now I will quickly talk about the upcoming Arsenal fixture.
I will say one thing for Palace. I did have a look at their squad going into or before this video, and they do have quite a number of options up front now. Batman, otherwise known as Michy Batshuayi, has moved, and it now gives them Wilfried Zaha. I believe Christian Benteke is still there. Jordan Ayew and Batshuayi. So I think Palace they do have more attacking options, or decent attacking options this season.
Yeah, it should be a good game. Maybe a 3-0 is a bit overstretched, but I don't know. I have a feeling that United will. It's at home. They're playing at home, so I think they will be comfortable. This is my predicted lineup for the game against West Ham. It was much easier for me to do the lineup since we already played last weekend. And you can see the only change I've made, that is, I think Ceballos might come in for Elneny. Even though Elneny has been really good over the past couple of games, he was brilliant in the Community Shield and against Fulham. But I think because we're playing at home and it's against West Ham, who do not look in the greatest shape right now. Yeah, I think David Moyes might be one of the first managers to get the sack. I'm sure Triv, you'll be very disappointed with that because
The
he was the
chosen one.
chosen one. Yes. So yeah, it's basically the same team against Fulham, and I think the structure, the organization that I talked about at the beginning of the video is very evident from this 3-4-3 system, and I don't think Arteta will move away from it yet, unless we buy new players that can allow him to play a different formation, like a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. But at the moment, this is the formation we are going to go with, and yeah, Ainsley Maitland-Niles at left wing back, I think has been doing a fantastic job. It's becoming a familiar position for him, and he tucks in to make it a midfield four when we are on the ball, and off the ball to make a back five. He drops into a left back or left wing back. So, and Bellerin the same on the other side. I think if you watch Arsenal play now, there's a lot of changes of formations within the game, and everyone seems to know their role, which is great to see. And so, out of possession, we're a three. You want to call it a 5-2-3, and then on the ball, we're more like a 4-3-3. But that changes throughout the game, and as my main man, I don't think there'll be a lot of surprise with this one because he is our talisman. He has signed a new contract, so I have to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, of course, the one and only. He has signed the thing, and for me, that is the most important signing of our transfer window. For a while, Arsenal have been selling their best players, their captains. We have a captain's curse, but after a long time, we
It
managed to
was this
keep our.
left-footed striker you guys had. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I was coming to that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, Van Persie, Fabregas, Henry. The list goes on. Ashley Cole. Yeah, I don't want to go down that route, but yeah, but there is good news for Arsenal fans. He has signed the thing, and I think this weekend I expect him to get a few more goals. Doesn't matter who's playing. I mean, he has shown in the big games against City, Liverpool, that he will score. So I expect the same from him against West Ham. And I'm predicting a 4-0 win. So I think it will be a comfortable win. I hope I don't have to eat my words, but I think there's a really good feel-good factor around the club. And yeah, and I think we will come on top. What do you think, Jadu? What's your prediction on
Uh,
this
I
game?
was gonna, I was going to go 3-1 to Arsenal. I
Okay.
also think I agree with you. I think the chosen one's days are numbered
Yeah.
at West Ham. West Ham are a bit of a conundrum for me. They've had a decent-ish squad for a couple of seasons now. Just can't seem to put it together, and I don't see that changing against Arsenal this game week.
Okay, cool. So those are the predictions for the two games, and we'll quickly touch on the big game happening this weekend, which is Chelsea-Liverpool. I'm quickly going to predict a 2-2 draw. I know that might come as a surprise. A lot of people might go for Liverpool here because they are the champions. But like I said earlier, that I think defensively they look a bit fragile compared to last year, and I think with the firepower of Chelsea, they might get 2 goals. And Chelsea are at home, so they do have that home advantage. So I'm predicting a draw here. What about you, John?
I'm going conventional. I'm going 2 or 3-0 Liverpool. I think
Wow.
when it comes to the big games, I think Jurgen Klopp is just too strong a manager for Frank Lampard. Interesting. We mentioned last week. Also, think Chelsea has many signings as they bought. I think they'll take some time to settle together. So I think I'm going to go a little bit more conventional and go. I'd say 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think most people would agree with you on that. I just think that Yeah, I'm just going for not a popular prediction, which will be the same. I want to touch on Wolves versus Man City. And I'm going for the same prediction of 2-2. I really think Wolves have come leaps and bounds since they got into the Premier League, and they did beat Man City last season. So I'm going for another 2-2 draw. I think they've already played last weekend, so they are a little um, more prepared for the league. And I know Man City have a great squad, but they haven't solved their defensive issues. So I think Wolves might get in and score a couple of goals. And with Man City's firepower, they will be able to get a few goals in too. How about you, Trev? What do you think? How
I
would
was
that
actually gonna
game plan?
go. I was actually gonna go 3-3.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be
That would be a
absolute
fun game to watch.
barnstorm, as they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think City still haven't replaced Vincent Company. I think Nathan Ake is a decent centre back. I don't think he's got the leadership abilities that City needs to replace Company. So yeah, I'm also. I think Wolves are really exciting. I'm also really excited to see Wolves' new teenage striker that they spent. I think it was 13 million or something like that on. So I'm quite excited to see him. See him play. I know he didn't come off the bench in their first game, so it might be interesting seeing if he gets a run out against Man City. So yeah, 3-3 for me.
Okay. Great. Now we will quickly touch on fantasy football. Trev, you and I, we've both been playing this for years, and yeah, we've had a good battles over the year. So we have started a new a league on fantasy called the Real Talk FC. I will put the code in the description. Please join us, and it's good fun. And yeah, join us. And Trev, what do you predict for this week's fantasy? Who's your main players? What can you tell us?
So this week, having a look at the fixture list, I think the star man is going to be the man that's been having a party for about 5-6 years, unstoppable, is Jamie Vardy. I think at home to Burnley, I think the phenom, I think, is the only way to describe what Jamie Vardy has done consistently over the last 7 years, considering the amount of changes that have happened at Leicester, and he's just consistently managed to bang in goals. I think 2 goals in the opening game. I think Burnley might be put to the sword by Jamie Vardy, and I think Burnley might have a party invitation waiting for them this week. What about you? Who do you think is going to top the points for fantasy?
I will go back to our captain, Aubameyang. I think he will top. I'm thinking of triple captaining him, but I'm not yet sure. Maybe I'm getting overhyped because he just signed the contract. But yeah, that's the player I'm looking forward to getting me some points on fantasy. But yeah, I think Vardy is a good shout, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you, Triv, for coming on again. It was always great talking football, and looking forward to the new season.
Yeah, can't wait to get right. Can't wait to get going now. I think transfers aside, the drama of the transfer window just aside for at least 2 hours and not think about what we need and who we need, and just actually watch some football for 2 hours. I think that would be good.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you for watching. For those of you who have watched there, please, if you like the show, please subscribe to the channel, and yeah, drop a like to the video and get in touch with us. The details will be in the description, and enjoy the Premier League ahead, and we will hope to see all of you pretty soon. So take care. Ciao.